there are two paths that we need to go down today. One is about measures. The other one is about attitude. So the first passage, Mark chapter 8, verses 34 through 37, and then we'll go into Luke chapter 6. But the first one in Mark chapter 8, verses 34 through 37. If we could.
When he had called the people to himself, with his disciples also, he said to them, whoever desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel will save it. Yeah. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul?
Okay, hold that for a moment. And this ties in. Now, Brother One used a term earlier, ambition. So let me bring a little bit of clarity to that. So ambition is not the term that saints want to use. Technically, how the world talks about it, it sounds right, but that's not really it. It is, Philippians 3 says, pressing toward the mark, which is a goal. You follow the distinction? The goal is pressing toward the mark. In fact, when James and John came before Jesus with ambition, they said, give us a seat on your right hand and your left hand. They were ambitious. So this is a teaching moment to be able to understand. He said, you don't even know what you're asking. He said, let me tell you something. First of all, I can't give it to anybody. It's not up to me. But the ambition, and had just really was in a conversation with someone recently about the difference between being ambitious and being goal-oriented. The ambition will put you in a place of the pursuit of perfection, and then in the pursuit of perfection, there's always somebody to blame when it doesn't go right, because you'll say, if this had happened, if that had happened, and you can be so insensitive and run over people because ambition is self-driven, self-oriented. It's all about me and what I want to do and what the circumstances are. But when you set goals, you can modify, adjust along the way. If I'm ambitious, then I'll run over anything to try to make it happen. It's the terminology that helps us to understand. The kingdom focuses on goals. The kingdom focuses on pursuit of being in the image of Jesus Christ as the ultimate pursuit. Because he promised in Matthew 6, he's going to add everything else that we may consider to be ambitious and worthy of doing. Are you following the distinction here? He says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness and all these other things. What other things? Whatever you want to put on there. He said, I'll add it, and you'll know it's me. And you will know that it's me. But in this passage, notice what he said. Whoever is going to come after me, first thing they got to do is shut it down on themselves. Your agenda now is a dead issue. Wow. He said, you're done. If you're going to come after me, shut your stuff down, pull down this shutter, and it's time to focus on me. Because he says, I'm going to give you something to do. I got a cross for you to carry.
There you go.
I have this cross, and you got to take it up and then follow me. Now picture this imagery. If he's saying, I'm going to put something for you to carry, that means you have to put something down to pick that up. Yeah. So what he's saying is, shut you down, come to me empty-handed, and then I'm going to decide what I need to put there to say, now this is you. This is what? He said, now you can start to follow me. Now get this. You can only start to follow me when you take on first what I say take on. Now you can follow me. But if I've got other things, then that will be interfering with what he might say, this is what I want to do right now. So whosoever shall save their life, save, and notice, like, pursue what they want, they need to shut it down or lose it. For what? Whosoever shall lose their life for my sake in the Gospels, just say. And he goes on to say, what price are you willing to pay? what does it profit a person if they get everything they thought was important and in eternity future are damned?
Right.
So he said, what price are you willing to pay for what you think you want? What price are you willing to pay? Because he said, what price? He said, or what shall a person give in exchange? In other words, what are you willing to give up for the security of being in? And there's only one answer. It has to be everything. It's got to be everything. If he says, seek first, Matthew 6, he said, then all these other things that you gave up shall be added. He said, but when it comes around this time, it will be kingdom ordered and not earthly manipulated.
Right.
Kingdom ordered, which nobody can do anything about. So then therefore we have to decide, what is it that we're really going to be focusing on and looking for in the first place?
Right.
He says, now, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to get done? How are you trying to do it? Who told you you should be doing it in the first place? Because it was a good idea. Because somebody said it. Until you reach this point where you don't care whether anything else comes your way. Get this now. You're not ready for anything else that he would send. Until you just don't care.
That's right.
Until you just don't care. What's that song? I don't even know. Throw your hands up like you just don't care. I don't remember. It was one of them. It sounded like it like that. But he said, until you don't care
That's right.
about your as is, you're not even ready to be a recipient of the overflow.
That's right. Get it out there. Say that.
Not even ready. And do you know that we can be in pursuit of so much stuff that we can't even recognize when God is sending something? So let's get quickly to this other passage in Luke chapter 6. And in Luke chapter 6, verses 27 through 38.
What I say to you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you.
Okay, hold on. Stop there for a moment. Now Jesus said, okay, let's start out this way. Love your enemies. He said, no, I'm not. No, I don't know about all of that. My enemy, I have a hard time sometimes loving my friends and family, and you telling me to love my enemies and do good to those who I know don't like me. Are you getting a hold of this? No, he said, but I say unto you, Jesus lovers, child, children, this is so fun. So this doesn't even apply to people who have not entered into a personal relationship. He said, but I say unto you which hear, love your enemies and do good to them which hate you. In other words, you want what's best for those even who you know has it out for you.
Amen.
Now he said, that's hard, that's tough. I don't know about all of that. Well, okay, verse 28, do verse 28.
Bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you.
Now, the word often is called cuss. You don't say curse. No matter, cuss you. Because cussing is worse than, well, that's a whole nother thing. Cussing folk, cussing is worse than using profanity. Because people can use profanity and it don't even come out right. You know they are not practitioners because it doesn't even come out. It doesn't even sound like cusses. They're just using stuff. But when you get cussed, it's like water running that just can't seem to stop. See, when somebody really cusses you, they don't one word you. Now, people who use profanity might use one word. When you getting cussed, it's such a flurry of stuff that's coming that don't seem like it's going to stop. And the more they go, you want to do something to them. Now that's when you've been cussed. They look at you and they think of something else. You've been cussed. He said, pray for them. Don't get mad at them, even while they're cussing you. You pray for them. Even people who despitefully use you because they can. And you call yourself trying to help out. And they taking full-blown advantage. And he says, pray for them. This is kingdom stuff here. Then go to verse 29.
To him who strikes you on the one cheek, offer the other also. And from him who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic either. Give to everyone who asks of you. And from him who takes away your goods, do not ask them back.
Now, you're like, okay. Somebody dogging you out. Somebody causing you harm, making life difficult for you. And he says, keep making yourself available. And if somebody steals from you, now notice that. If somebody steals from you, don't go and try to get it back. You said, no, I'm calling the police. I want to get them locked up.
Right.
Right here he says, let them go on about their business. And I hear you. I know somebody saying, well, God didn't tell us to be stupid. That's why the police is there. No, what this says here, if they took it, God bless them anyhow. If you have insurance, let that cover it. You don't need to give names, address, location, even when you know who did it. Now, isn't this deep?
Yes.
And I guess you say, oh, no, I want them to suffer for doing me. They don't do me like that. But what he says is, don't even go after them. And whenever somebody keep asking you for something, then you give it to them. And don't ask, hey, where my money is? Where my stuff? You know you got it. You notice it said? Anybody who asks of you, help them out. Even when they take more than they should have taken, don't even ask them to give it back. Now you said, no, I'm not trying to do all of that. Back to verse 27. Jesus said, but I say unto you all of these things. All right, let's keep going. Verse 31.
And just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise.
So if you want somebody to get back at you, if you want somebody to be harsh and cruel to you, then yeah, be harsh and cruel to them. But if that's not what you want from people, then what he's saying is, don't do them like that.
That's right.
Now you say, oh, some people deserve it. No, that's in your brain. That you need to get something out of your head, because what he says is, don't do it.
Yeah.
Do how you want to be done. Verse 32.
But if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you?
Yeah.
For even sinners love those who love them.
See, isn't that something? People don't have a problem playing it forward when they know it benefits them more. And at the same time, that's a part of the process. He says now, so doing something for somebody just because they did something for you really is low-level living. It's earthbound and not eternity-focused, not kingdom-based. So look at verse 33.
And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even the sinners do the same.
So then, have you found yourself there where it was certain people or select people that you try to offer your best to them, And then there are the other people who have a greater need that we don't even give much thought to.
Right.
And he is saying, well, you haven't done anything, not for real. If you knew that that's what they were doing, then you were doing the same thing. Is that any different than those who are in the 10 most wanted list? Because he said that's what they do. You know, the unlicensed pharmaceutical distributors on the street, they don't have any concern when those under them do what they're supposed to do. They don't have any problem with them. When they follow the script, they don't take them out. Let them break the code.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see bullets flying,
Oh, yeah.
or people being thrown off bridges, and everything else. Some code has been broken. So when they're talking about all these violence and homicide and things, some code has been broken.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't happen otherwise, because unless these rare situations where somebody has a level of insanity, they don't go around just doing that. Most of these cases, codes. And what he's saying is, we're no different than them when we do that. So let's get through this quickly. Verses 34.
And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive back, what credit is that to you? For even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much back. But love your enemies, do good, and lend hoping for nothing in return.
It's okay. All right, so notice that. Don't look for anything in return. Keep going.
And your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High.
Notice. Your reward. There's a difference between them giving something back to you, which was limited. A reward. Do you know a reward comes simply because of somebody having a greater need and more important to them than it is to you. When somebody offers a reward, what they're offering a reward for is of greater value to them than it is to you. So if the kingdom is going to reward you, it says, because what you're doing is of great value. And so he in turn said, this is what I want to do, because what you've done, you've let your light so shine that others may see your good works. Okay.
For he is kind to the unthankful and evil. Therefore be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful.
Okay, we'll stop here for today. Love your enemies, do good, and you all can come up, and the reward shall be great. And notice what he said, and you shall be called the children of the highest.
Yes.
Because of this behavior, he's kind to the unthankful and to the evil. He's kind to them. So he said, therefore be merciful as your Father is merciful.
So we want to be more like Christ, right?
Yes.
We want to be more loving,
Yes.
more faithful, more patient.
Yes.
Amen. Lord, I want to be more loving, just like you. Lord, I want to be more loving, just like you. Lord, I want to be more loving. I want to be more loving. Lord, I want to be more loving, just like you. Lord, I want to be more loving, just like you, just like the Lord. Lord, I want to be more loving, just like you. Lord, I want to be more loving. I want to be more loving. Said I want to be more loving, just like you.
this morning. That's one of our original songs, but we're going to give him one last verse on that on our way out to tie in with what we've talked to you about today. Lord, I want to be a servant, just like you, a servant. And because when this all boils down, Jesus said in Matthew chapter 20, verse 28, think not that I came to be served, but to serve and to give my life a ransom for many. In other words, ultimately, the question will come, what will he say to you when we stand before him? Will he say, well done, you good and faithful servant? Or will he say, depart from me, I never knew you? So on our way out, it would be, Lord, I want to be a servant, just like you. And so we really want to take this one on down home to do it like this. Lord, I want to be a servant, just like you. Lord, I want to be, and this is what you all gotta follow, just